Welcome back. All right, congrats to the UConn Huskies. They win a thriller. They're the national champs, beating Kentucky, and the man of the hour for UConn, Shabazz Napier, the senior guard. Another great game for him as they win. There's your headline, but another headline that we're going to really focus in on is, before the game, Napier saying sometimes he goes to bed starving. What?
There's hungry nights where I'm not able to eat, but I still got to play up to my capabilities. When you see your jersey getting sold, it may not have your last name on it, but when you see a jersey getting sold, things like that, to some credit, you feel like you want something in return, and sometimes it feels that way. But like I said, I don't think student athletes should get hundreds of $1,000s. But like I said, there are hungry nights that I go to bed and I'm starving. We're definitely best to get a scholarship to our universities, but at the end of the day, that doesn't cover everything.
All right, there you go. So that led to one heated news meeting. I want you to listen to it. Here we go. Okay, Final Four is wrapped up. Congrats to you. You called it. UConn with the big win.
Before the game last night, Shabazz Napier, the star of the team, the leader, senior, was asked what he thought about the ruling in Northwestern about allowing the collegiate players to unionize. And he said, I'm a student athlete, but there are nights where I go starving. There's not enough food.
Daryl watching. Flip the camera. Give it up to him.
Being that he said that he went to bed starving, he has parents. Right. They can get money from the parents.
I think all the student athletes should get something when the cafeteria is closed.
I was a journalism student. There were nights that I went to bed hungry.
They're getting a free education. They have money to spend on getting food.
There's no way.
Well, I told you it got heated there, so let's bring in sports radio talk show host Chris D'Amito. Chris, this leads to the debate. Pay the athletes something or not? Your thoughts?
If you would have asked me 10 years ago, my answer would have been very different. Of course you're supposed to pay them because there's enough money to pay them. I'm not buying into what people are trying to sell me that there's not. I'll just give you an example. Whether it's the AD at Ohio State making $18,000 because a wrestler won a national title, a guy he probably wouldn't have known and been able to pick out if he walked in a room with him, to Kentucky where it's upwards of $500,000 to a coaching staff and bonuses. Kid Rock was on last night on a pregame show for 2 songs on their pregame show with the Capital One logo on it the entire length of those 2 songs. I have no idea what Kid Rock was paid. I have no idea what Capital One paid for that moment. You want to tell me there's not enough money to go around to give some sort of payment to these athletes? It's ridiculous. I don't like the fact that he used the word starving because I'm not really sure if that was as accurate as he was portraying. There's a debate about that as well. But I do understand the idea of money in your pocket that doesn't exist. Well, a lot of people wearing suits and ties and a lot of people walking around that campus are putting money, actual money, into their pocket based upon your athletic endeavors. That seems a little bit ridiculous to me. Okay, so you heard it in our news meeting there. He gets a free education over 4 years, $150,000 roughly. What's your argument to that, where people say, hey, he's getting a free education? Isn't that enough? Well, I guess you can make the argument. That's fine. And an education to me, whether you're at a junior college or a 4-year institution or a 4-year institute where they're asking that kind of money, education is what you put into it. I've never really believed that you can put a price tag on it. Your education might be worth a heck of a lot more than the actual price tag. I understand there's value to that. I do. But I also believe that when you're talking about billions in college basketball's tournament, billions in an NFL college football playoff with more to come if they expand that, you're not going to convince me that there's not a way to do this. Now, quite honestly, the problem is 300-plus schools shouldn't be playing big boy basketball, and 120 shouldn't be playing big boy football.
Hey, Chris, there you go.
They can't afford it.